Welcome to Life Lessons from Doug. I'm Kari Solberg. For over 12 years, I've been immersed in the world of dogs, with 10 of those years being dedicated to professional training. My journey has taken me from fostering rescue dogs to running a full-scale training and daycare facility, to building a private practice focused on behavior and relationship. And if there's one lesson I keep returning to again and again, it's this. Dogs love us in a way that defies explanation. It's not performance-based. It's not dependent on how productive we are, how polished we seem, or how perfectly we show up. It's unconditional. And yet, for many of us, that kind of love can feel hard to accept. Earlier this week, I had a conversation with a close friend that brought this topic to mind. She was feeling anxious about an upcoming discussion with her partner, not because there was a conflict that needed resolving, but because she wanted to express some needs and desires that she'd been holding on to for a while. For her, opening up in this way was uncharted territory. Vulnerability, even in the absence of conflict, can be just as daunting as confrontation. After the conversation, she shared that it went better than she had anticipated. Her partner was supportive, listened attentively, and responded with love and understanding. And the messages she sent me were, "It's so hard to accept this love. I don't feel worthy of it. I didn't think it could be like this. It's hard because my mind complicates it, and I can't get out of my head." And something about those landed deep, because I felt that too. That pull to question love when it feels safe. That urge to brace for impact even when the ground beneath you is solid. That voice in the back of your mind whispering, "This is too good. You're going to mess it up. You don't deserve this. And don't let your guard down." We get so used to preparing for disappointment, for abandonment, for the rug to be pulled out from under us, that when love does show up clean and steady, it feels foreign, untrustworthy, like something we have to earn, prove, or overthink our way through. But dogs don't do that. They don't sit there worrying whether they've been good enough to deserve a belly rub. They don't question if they're worthy of the cozy bed we bought them or the kind tone in our voice. They don't analyze the offer of love looking for the catch. They just receive it, fully, with trust, with joy, and with a wide open heart that says, "Of course this is for me. Of course I'm safe here." And the more I think about it, the more I realize this is one of the most profound lessons dogs have to offer us. Not just how to give love, but how to receive it, how to let it in without armor, how to believe we're worthy of it without needing to earn it. And maybe, just maybe, how to heal that part of us that's learned to brace instead of lean in. Because receiving love can be challenging. It's one thing to offer support to someone else, to show up with care and presence when a friend is hurting or a dog is struggling. But allowing ourselves to be on the receiving end, to soften into that tenderness without deflecting or trying to earn it, that's a whole different kind of vulnerability. I've had moments where I felt I couldn't hold it together for another second. Times when everything felt overwhelming. And in those moments, even though I knew I was loved, I didn't know how to let it in. Somewhere along the way, many of us learned to armor up, to keep going and to be strong. But real, unconditional love asks us to do the opposite. It asks us to soften, to surrender, to be seen. I think for many of us, love has felt conditional at some point. Maybe we had to be the helper, the achiever, the fixer, the one who held it all together. Maybe we learned that being loved meant being useful, being easy, or being not too much. So when someone, or some dog, offers us love without strings, it's disorienting. It feels like we've missed a rule, like we've forgotten to perform, like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because if you've spent your life earning love, proving your worth, walking on eggshells, keeping things light and easy so you don't become a burden, then being loved just as you are can feel unnatural. But that kind of love, that kind that asks nothing of you, that's the kind that heals. And dogs, they offer it without hesitation. They don't need you to show up with a good attitude or a clean emotional slate. They don't care if you've got it all together or if you've just come undone. They meet you where you are, with softness, with presence, and with joy. They don't ask for perfection, they ask for connection. And maybe the invitation is this: to learn how to receive love like that, with open hands, with a soft heart, and with the belief that we're worthy, not because of what we do, but because of who we are. And maybe that's why dogs have always felt like such steady companions to me, because they don't ask me to earn their love. They don't need me to have it all together. They just show up again and again with softness and presence. And sometimes we don't realize how much we need that kind of love until it finds us. I remember one evening in particular, not too long ago, when that truth hit me like a wave. It was one of those days, the kind that leaves you feeling drained, defeated, and questioning everything. I had poured all my energy into the day, giving to others, managing responsibilities, holding it all together. And by the time I walked through my front door, I felt like a shell of myself. I let the dogs out, mechanically going through the motions, and then collapsed on the couch, emotionally and physically spent. I didn't have the energy to greet them with my usual enthusiasm. I didn't have the strength to offer affection or even words. I just sat there, enveloped in silence, trying to catch my breath. Eden, sensing the shift in my energy, approached me quietly. She didn't demand attention or try to cheer me up. Instead, she simply sat beside me, her presence calm and steady. She leaned into me and rested her head gently on my lap, offering nothing but her silent companionship. In that moment, she didn't need me to be anything other than I was. She didn't require explanations or solutions. She just wanted to be there with me, to share the weight of the moment, and to let me know that I wasn't alone. Her silent support spoke volumes. It reminded me that love doesn't always come in grand gestures or eloquent words. Sometimes it's found in the quiet presence of someone who chooses to sit with you in your pain without trying to fix it. Eden's unwavering presence broke through the walls I'd built around myself. Her unconditional love reached the parts of me that I often keep hidden, the parts that feel unworthy or too much. She saw me, all of me, and chose to stay. In that simple act, she taught me that it's okay to receive love even when I feel unworthy, that I don't have to earn it or be perfect to deserve it, that sometimes the most healing thing we can do is allow ourselves to be seen and loved in our most vulnerable state. Dogs have this incredible ability to love us without conditions and without expectations. They don't hold our flaws against us or keep score of our mistakes. They offer their love freely, teaching us that we too can be recipients of such grace. Eden's quiet companionship that day was a powerful reminder that love is not something to be earned, but something to be received. And in receiving it, we find healing, connection, and the courage to face another day. That moment with Eden, her simply being there, steady and soft while I sat with nothing left to give, was a turning point. Not because anything big happened, but because something in me softened. Something that had been bracing for too long finally let go. And I think that's the lesson. Love doesn't always need words. It doesn't need us to be on, to be productive, to have it all figured out. Sometimes it just needs to be open and to receive. And when we let it in, we stop shrinking away from tenderness, stop qualifying whether we deserve it. We start to heal in ways that we didn't know we needed. So this week, I want to invite you to notice how you respond to love. Not just the big gestures, but the small ones. The dog that lays their head in your lap, the friend who checks in with you, the compliment you usually deflect. Where do you resist receiving? And what might shift if you softened into it? If you let the love in, not because you earned it, but because you're human and worthy and deeply enough just as you are. Dogs remind us of that truth every day. And maybe, just maybe, it's time we started believing in it too. If this episode spoke to something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Come connect with me on Substack at lifelessonsfromdog.substack.com or on TikTok and Blue Sky at lifelessonsfromdog. And if you know someone who struggles to receive love, who's learning how to let it in, send this their way. Because love, in its truest form, isn't earned. It's offered freely, just like our dogs show us every day. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time on Life Lessons from Dog. Up next on Life Lessons from Dog. What happens when the rules you've been taught don't actually work? In the next episode, I'm sharing the story of a dog named Kari and how her case pushed me to throw out the traditional training playbook and start listening to something deeper, my own intuition. It's a story about behavior, about burnout, and about the quiet courage it takes to step outside the mold, not just in dog training, but also in life. Because sometimes the wisest thing you can do is to stop following the rules. I'll see you next time on Life Lessons from Dog.